Okay, so we're going to make cured sausage. This is like salami or a salchichón if you're from Spain. I'm going to smoke mine. If you don't have a way to smoke it, you can totally do this. It just obviously isn't going to have that smoked flavor. So I've got about 2 kilos of ground up pork shoulder here. The pork shoulder's got the right amount of fat in it that you're going to want for a sausage. Anything leaner than that, and you're just making dried meat, it's not going to be nearly as good. So, what I need to do is add 3% by weight of the salt. So, we've got to do some maths here. It ends up that for the 2 and a bit kilos, I needed 63 grams of salt to make it up to the 3%. So now it's just a matter of mixing that salt really as evenly as you can through the meat mixture, and I'll just keep working it and working it through. And so we've ground up really coarsely a bunch of black peppercorns. And now that I've got the salt pretty much evenly mixed through, I'm going to do the same with the black peppercorns, and this will again redistribute the salt because you want it to be as evenly through the mixture as possible. So that salt is going to cure the meat, but it's also going to keep the bacteria away. And as an added measure and for a bit more flavor, we just put some red wine in there. The acidity of the red wine will also keep bacteria at bay as this is curing, and it loosens the mixture up a little bit, and it obviously adds some flavor. So I think we probably put 1 glass of wine in there for 2 kilos of meat. So now the cool little bit of kit that you have to buy in order to make sausages. This is a sausage stuffer that I got off Amazon for it was under $30 for sure. So I'm filling that, trying to make sure that I don't get air pockets in it, because otherwise you'll have big air pockets in the sausage, which isn't the end of the world, but it's not exactly what you're looking for. So it's just a matter of filling that sausage stuffer. I think that one will hold 3 pounds of meat. That's kind of the way that you buy them by size of how many pounds of meat. So I fill that up, I put the end on it, and then we start cranking away and making sausages. So I'm using collagen casings. I also bought those off of Amazon. They keep forever in the fridge. They're just easier to use than the natural casings, which are usually like pig intestines or something. And it's just a matter of tying a knot tightly and starting to fill the sausage. So you can't see this in the shot. Oh, you kind of can a little bit, but you start cranking the crank at the other end of the sausage maker and put a little bit of back pressure on it so that you're keeping air bubbles out. And you literally just keep cranking until you get the right length. You can make them any length you want. I make mine a length so that it fits in the thing that I'm going to smoke them in. So when you get the right length, rather than cut it off and then try to tie a knot, you're best off to tie the knot and then cut it off, and then you get a nice tight end to that sausage again without any air holes in it. Right from there, you cut it off and you just repeat until you've used up the whole 2 kilos of meat. Okay, so now we get to the smoking part. You can see the apple wood chips and this little ring, again, bought off Amazon. It's a pretty cool thing. You just fill as much as you need with the apple chips, and for the amount I'm putting in, I think I could smoke it for, the smoker kept going for about an hour and a half, which is all I really wanted. And then from there, you simply put a tea light down underneath the beginning of that little row of sawdust, light it on fire, and it'll start smoking. And there you'll just start to see a little bit of smoke coming up. So I take that, I put it in. I used my tandoor oven that I built a long time ago to smoke things with. So there's no fire in the tandoor oven, it's just the cold smoke. The smoker goes down on the bottom. We'll hang the sausages down in there, put a lid on it, and just let it sit there for, like I said, about an hour and a half, 2 hours, or until the smoker stops smoking and you've burned all of that applewood sawdust away. So that's what I have after 17 days of hanging in a cool place with some airflow individually so they're not touching each other. And here's just a freeze frame safety announcement. You can see there is no mold on these. If they develop a white mold, that's totally fine. If they develop a green mold, I'm told that you can take some strong alcohol like vodka and clean the green mold off. I've never had it. If mine developed a green mold, I would call it a failure and throw it all away. If they develop a black mold, then it's definitely a failure. Don't eat it. Just throw it away and cut your losses. So you can see this is pretty firm. It's lost a lot of its moisture in the curing process. And we'll take the little one that was all the leftover meat and give it a taste test. We'll go to some live audio here and see what Doreen thought about it. Doreen's trying some.
Are you sure it's good?
I'm sure it's good.
Well, it's soft on the inside. I don't know.
Does it taste good?
Yeah, tastes great.
Tastes great.